This is AHA Business Radio, creating aha moments for business, by business, and about business, providing opportunities to discover information to help you run your business and guide your decision making. The more you know, the better decisions you make. Now, here's your host for AHA Business Radio, Alan Hirsch.
What are some of the reasons you see where some of your clients are trying to get a value for their business?
Well, in talking about business valuation for businesses, there's other things that you can value, of course, but mostly CEOs owning small companies, and small companies I'll quickly define as being, say, $10 million in value and less. Those companies are most often passed down to sons and daughters, and so in order to make that transfer or stock, a gift or a transfer or a transfer to a trust for a son and daughter, i.e. a family transfer, you need to have a business valuation in order to report the sale or the transfer to the Internal Revenue Service.
One of the other things that I always tell my clients, one way or the other, you're going to exit your business. Whether you want to or you plan to, you're going to exit it. But one of the things I also talk to them about is you need to plan for all of them.
Yes,
indeed. And one of those, for example, is, if you decide if you're a small business and you want to sell it, you don't have a child, sometimes you need to create a value for that business.
Correct. When you have a small business, and again, under 10 million, say, in value, and you go to sell that business, you pretty much need to know what your selling price is going to be. So the first thing would be to determine the value of the business for the purpose of a sale. And that purpose would mostly be considered to be called an investment value. In other words, what would you sell it to for, say, 3 or 4 interested outside parties to acquire that business? The inside sale would be to either the management team or the children, and that would also be a type of business valuation, but would be more of a fair market value.
Mm-hmm. In planning to sell your business, many owners really don't know the true value of their business, and many times from what I understand, they underestimate the value. And if they want to sell and they want to plan 3, 5, 7 years out into the future, they don't know what the value is in order for them to retire properly if they're going to sell it or leave it to their family. I find it important, and I assume you do some valuations sometimes on businesses like that, to help get them a value what it is now if they were sell it, so that they can plan to move and grow the business to get to the point where it is saleable at the price they need to retire.
Right, you're correct about that. We, to quite the opposite, we find that business owners tend to overvalue their companies rather than to underestimate the value. And that overestimation is somewhere between 20 and 30% today versus next year and the year after.
If you don't plan now for something that's got 5 to 7 years, you're going to be in a situation where you are, and you can't do anything about it. But if you have enough time and plan it, you can build that business properly with the right kind of help and right kind of growth to the point where hopefully it'll get to be the value you want it to be when you're ready to sell it.
Right. In exit planning, we generally find that there is a gap between the value today and the value that is desired to be received to secure a retirement.
So what is some of the information that the business would have that you will be looking at in order to help you get the value?
Well, for almost all companies, the standard information package would be 5 years of information relative to financial statements, 2 or 3 years worth of tax returns, forecasts of future operations. And I think the main thing would be the interview with the owner or the management team. In most cases, this is a 2 to 3 hour interview with management, and it's to discuss the history of the business, the prospects of the business, the strengths and weaknesses of the business, and to determine the overall quality of the management team and the business itself.